it's Sandra. Welcome to another episode of Asexualise, my asexual life. This is a place to be for education about asexuality, all things asexual. I share my asexual life journey in order to help you in yours. So subscribe and hit that bell icon right now. So in today's episode, I want to talk to you about how to deal with idiots and my results after a dating app detox now for over 2 months. So yeah, if you're new to this channel, I am asexual in sexual orientation. This means I lack sexual attraction. In my case, I'm a sex repulsed asexual, which means that dating is harder for me to do. I've been looking for my Indian soulmate since 2014 and hadn't found him. So I decided this year I was going to give up looking for him and I was going to come off dating apps and, not do that type of thing anymore. I'm going to explain to you what happened. But first of all, if you didn't know who I am Sandra Bellamy, author of this awesome Asexual Perspectives book out on Amazon, and also Fibromyalgia Self-Help Handbook, also available on Amazon. So go and grab yourself some copies of these right now. Yes, but don't forget to come back. So what do you do when you're dealing with idiots? So like I said, I'm on a dating app detox. Now, this is for over 2 months now. I went on the dating app detox originally on the 25th of July, 2022. I've now just gone to the 28th of September, 2022. And so far, I'm really happy with the results. I'm so glad that I uninstalled Bumble. I'm so glad that I am permanently on take a break from Facebook dating. I'm not interested in pursuing a relationship at the moment. A relationship is no longer a priority for me in my life. I'm really, really happy with this. I feel that I'm actually healing myself during this process. I feel like because I'm no longer reliant on looking for a relationship, if you like, that my life is just so much better now. I have much more clarity. My intuition is able to talk to me a lot more with clarity. I'm able to get a lot more done in my life. In fact, I've said it before and I'll say it again. I don't know how I had time to date before when I'm just so busy all the time. Literally, I've been updating 2 older blogs, quirkybits.wordpress.com blog, which was my original writing blog, and beatredundancyblues.wordpress.com. Now, you probably don't know those 2 blogs, but I've been running Quirky Books one for 10 years, and the other one pretty much the same. So I think the start of the other one just a little bit after that. So, I've been doing stuff like that. And so I have more time now to do things that I want to do, that I need to do, that I feel I've neglected over the years. And I feel I'm really happy now that I'm no longer making a relationship a priority in my life. I actually don't want a relationship to be my priority anymore. My career is far more important to me right now than finding a relationship. And just enjoying my life and being at one with my intuition and just following what my internal compass says, if you like. So just following, like what I believe is right and just telling myself what to do, like I'm coaching myself all the time. And that's really healthy for me and really good. So I'm more in tune with myself. I'm more in tune with my inner being. I'm more in tune with my intuition. I feel calmer in and of myself, despite the fact that my landlord's selling my home. That has put me under some distress. But overall, I'm still feeling much better because the dating app detox is amazing. I wish I'd done it sooner in some ways, but I guess you're not ready until you're ready. I just feel so much better for not being on those dating apps. I was spending 1 to 4 hours a night looking for a guy for me some of the time. And I mean? That's a lot of hours, and I could have been doing a lot of other stuff during that time. But I wasn't really ready to end doing that, but now I am. I do still get adverts coming up for Bumble. And of course, when they do these actors and actresses that pretend they're in a relationship and met on Bumble, of course, as a romantic asexual, my heart has a little flutter like, oh, but what if? And I'm like, yeah, what if you did that again and it felt horrible and I hate it? It's actually so painful for me to think about going on these dating apps now. That's how detoxed I am from it, in the sense that I don't think they're good for me anymore. I'm really not interested in finding a relationship anymore right now. I really am interested in my career, in changing my life, in changing my environment. Obviously, I might have to move anyway. I'm just really much more interested in me and my career and everything else but relationships. Obviously, I still am a hyper romantic. I'm going to come on to the idiots bit in this title soon, because yes, I have still had to deal with idiots, even though I'm off dating apps. And so, for me personally, it just means that I'm able to focus on myself a lot more, focus on my career. I can plan and do things like I want to do a new timetable for next month. I really want to do a lot of stuff, which is going to take a lot of my time up. And there's no room for a relationship as well as doing that, you know? And so I'm really happy that I've got the time to fulfill my dreams now. I see that I probably won't be focusing on a relationship for the next couple of years. I say that, but I am open still to the right guy coming along for me. I think it's important to be open to it. I'm not closed, and I think that gives me some flexibility then, because I don't like being restricted in any way, and that includes restricting myself, saying nothing can ever happen, no way, blah blah blah, because I do intuitively believe I have an Indian soulmate. And even though I'm a dating app detox, I can still see that crystal clear. Even though I've had really bad Indian guys contact me and connect with me, guys that are no good, even though there's tons of Indian guys that aren't any good for me and not good guys, I still feel intuitively that I have an Indian soulmate. I feel him. I feel that when I'm going to this Bollywood dance, if you didn't already know, I've booked a Bollywood party. Well, it's called Bollywood Night. I've booked it in my city for next Tuesday, and it doesn't finish till Wednesday, and I'm going to it, and I've got the ticket now. And so this will be my first Bollywood party night, and I just know that I'll feel at home there, because I was just watching a woman do some Bollywood dance steps, and I was trying a few out, and it reminded me of my Irish Appalachian dancing, which is weird because the two shouldn't actually go together. But it just reminded me of those steps, and when I was started to do it, I just reminded me and felt like I'd done it before, like deja vu. It's really weird, and I feel like I'm gonna feel like I'm at home. That's what I think I'm gonna feel like. Be interesting to see the contrast between, do you really feel like that when you get there? Yes, I believe I will. Or will you feel out of it? I don't think I'll feel out of it at all. I think I'll feel like I'm at home. But it'll be interesting to note the contrast between what I think in my own reality internally and what actually is my reality. So I think that's going to be very testing time for me, very interesting time. And so I'm not cutting off the fact that I believe I have an Indian soulmate, because I feel closer to him by not pursuing a relationship. It's weird. And I do still have visions of this guy, but I can't fully see his face. Like, I can't see it so plainly. It's really weird because I've had dreams of people kissing me lately, but not an Indian guy. And I can't usually do that. And I felt it. And I could see these people, different people at different times and different dreams. And I don't usually get dreams about people kissing me. I've only ever had dreams of a couple of random guys kissing me in my life, and my ex who wasn't very good. And so that's really, really strange. I've started to get these dreams now, but I feel I'm healing from past traumas and past relationships. I feel like I'm actually confronting the past. I'm allowing myself to think and feel of different scenarios from my past that would be really, really painful usually, and let it just kind of like simmer a bit and like for it to pass. I feel like being on a dating app detox, I'm able to heal more faster, better, and able to just feel the moment more, live in the present moment more. I don't know if this is making sense, because I feel like I've been in a trance for years. I honestly do. Like, since 2014, I've been looking for my Indian asexual soulmate, which I do still believe an Indian soulmate's out there for me. But it's like I made that my main focus and priority, which it isn't anymore. And so I feel that I'm better off now than I was before. And I feel like I've been in a trance for years, and I haven't really been focusing totally on what I want to focus on, like all the other aspects of my life. Friendship wise, I've done really well because I've grown really good, healthy friendships. So I've done really well, despite the fact I've been looking for a relationship. I've done very well. And I think that's very good because it bodes well for me for the future. And so in a moment, I'm just going to be talking about idiots and how, like, you might be thinking, how have I got idiots come up? Well, although I'm on a dating app detox, I've mentioned to you before on this channel that I am in an Indian dating group on Facebook, which I posted once. in April this year, okay? So we're now in September, almost the end of September, and this was April, and I still get guys coming from that group in my inbox, Indian guys, usually, because it's a group full of Indians. And so it's nice because they're Indian, and it's nice to see different Indian guys, some of which are way too old for me because I'm not interested in older guys or anywhere near my birth certificate age. I like younger guys. And some are just like much older than my birth certificate age. And and they just look older and they're not my type. And they're predominantly all in India, which is no good to me. And it really annoys me because I put in my bio that I'm interested in a guy in the UK and still they ignore it, which is why I'm dealing with idiots. So I'm going to just read something out. I'm not going to obviously say the identity of the person, but you might have noticed there was a shorts video on here I did of part of a conversation. And it was this guy, said to this guy, he's not suitable for me. Right. And he's basically said, I basically didn't believe that Indian guys would have the patience to be with someone who's curvaceous and sexy like me. And I'm like, exactly. So it's not suitable. We're not suitable. Right. So he said, he did actually tell me that he saw my post, which was good because he did tell me that. But he said, oh, my reply's here. And when I looked at his reply, I'm not going to reveal who he is. He's like, I like the idea. This was his reply to my post about being asexual and not wanting sex, marriage, or kids and preferring to live separately. I like the idea and wanted to try it. But unfortunately, I'm not in the UK. I'm in India. Right? And you might have seen one of my other videos recently where I said, asexuality, basically, asexuality is not something you can try and emphasize. You know what I mean? It's a genuine sexual orientation. It drives me mad with these people. Oh my God, itchy nose and it's live. It drives me mad when these people talk about my sexual orientation like it's a coat that you can try on for a night to see if it fits. You know what I mean? I like the idea and want to try it. It's not an idea. It's not some abstract concept I've just made up. It's not some fallacy. It's not some phase. It's not something you can just try out. I'm not trying out being asexual. I genuinely am asexual. I look back at all my past life and I'm completely asexual in the sense I don't experience any sexual attraction. I wasn't interested in sex. It didn't enter my head. I just used to think, even as a teenager, that I loved kissing. At 6 years old, I just wanted kissing. Yes, 6, I had my first boyfriend, if you didn't know. And he wanted to do other things at 6. And, I felt invaded and I didn't like it. And when I liked the guys even at school, I always thought about holding their hand and kissing them and romance. I didn't think about sex. And I'm definitely asexual. And I know some people may, I think it's very difficult because obviously if you've had abuse, it's not the same as being asexual and not experiencing sexual attraction. But obviously some people who have had severe abuse, they might identify as asexual because they no longer are interested in sex and they don't want sexual activity. I'm not going to go into that, but basically, I am genuinely asexual. I have had sexual abuse, but that's not why I'm asexual. I've had sex since I've been sexually abused. If I wanted sex, I would have it again. I don't have a problem with having sex if I wanted it. But the whole point is I don't want it. I don't need it. I don't like it. I'm not interested in it. Right? My last ex was good at that. My last long-term ex, I should say. Not my last ex, but my last long-term ex was good at that. But I'm not interested. I would have rather done the washing up, and I hate friggin' washing up. But because I was in relationships with heterosexuals for most of my life before, then it was a nightmare because I just thought that's what you had to do. And I've been sex-free this November for 11 years, thank God. And so going back to this guy, I like the idea and wanted to try it. Asexuality, it's just an asexual relationship. It's like the way he speaks about it is just like it's some abstract idea that I made up, and I'm just like, playing a game or something. It really annoys me, and especially when they say they're not in the UK. If it's like you're not in the UK, then don't waste my time. And I said, well, that's no good to me. And he's like, what happened? I said, I'm looking for a guy in UK only. It's not an idea. He's like, oh, okay, I understand. I said, it's my sexual orientation. I understand that too, he said. I have to go eat because I've been working for hours at the time. He's like, okay, I need some sleep too. You know, here in India, it's 3:40. Let's talk when you are free. Right? And then he started saying, let's make it a reason for me to come to the UK. May I know what you mean by a life without sex? This is what I mean. I'm dealing with flaming idiots. What the hell do you think a life without sex means? A life, we have a life, without, meaning not with, sex, meaning sex. You know what I mean? Like, these people are idiots. It's like, it's quite self-explanatory. May I know what you mean by a life without sex? I mean a life without sex. I don't have sex. I don't have anal sex. I don't have oral sex. I don't have vaginal sex. I don't have sex. Does that make it any clearer? I mean, honestly, these people, they're idiots. How can you not understand what it means? It's plain, simple, crystal clear. I say what I mean, and I mean what I say. And then he goes, is it a life totally without sex? Yes. A life without sex is a life without sex. You know, I've put it in, I'm not interested in sex, in the bio, only kissing. And then he says, I'm interested in knowing it better. Write to me when you can. Knowing it's better, like it's some sort of like thing that I just made up and I'm just deciding to try a lifestyle on for the hell of it. You know what I mean? And these people are just unreal. And I said, saying you like the idea and want to try it, I find is insulting. Clearly, you don't take my post seriously or my sexual orientation seriously. Asexuality isn't some abstract concept or like a coat you can try on for size. I said this to him. It's a genuine sexual orientation that's a lack of sexual attraction. And when he's put, is it a life totally without sex? I've actually responded to that specific statement and said yes. May I know what you mean by life without sex? I put, it's self-explanatory. And then he's like, no, don't get offended. I didn't mean to insult you. Okay, sounds good. I'm interested in a life like that. And then I said, well, it is insulting. It's not a lifestyle choice either. I'm not abstaining. I don't get any need, urge, or want for sex, as I don't experience sexual attraction. I'm sorry if you felt like that. Don't have any intention to hurt anyone or insult. I like the idea of life without sex. I never heard about it. That's why I say I like to try it. Because I really don't know how far it will go. This is what I mean. It sounds like he's thinking it's some sort of game that you can try out and see how far you can go. Like, I don't know, Monopoly or Trivial Pursuit or a video game to see what level you can get at. You know, this is my life and sexual orientation we're talking about. It's not some sort of frigging game. This is what I mean. These people are idiots. And yes, I don't usually call people idiots, but now I'm calling people idiots because it's just idiotic. A guy said, what does it mean with life without sex? A life without sex means a life without sex. You don't have to be Einstein to work that out, honestly. You know what I mean? So I said, I don't want to be tried because, you know, the way he talks, that's why I say I like to try it. It sounds like I'm something to use and be tried. I put, I don't want to be tried. I am not interested in long distance or casual or short-term relationships. I spelled that out to him. And I don't think Indian guys will have that many patience to be with a sexy, curvy woman like you without sex. So I said, exactly. So we aren't suitable. And now I'm pursuing my career. So good luck finding someone suitable, which I thought would be the end of the conversation. So he said, me too. I'm over that kind of situation. What does that mean? What, they're over long distance, casual, short-term relationships? And why the hell is he speaking to me then from India when I said that I'm looking for a guy in the UK? Clearly. So he said, but I like to fall in love with a girl outside of India. So clearly, if that's true, then he can't be telling the truth about being over that kind of situation of long distance relationships, can he? If he wants someone outside of India. And so then I said, so when I said, so good luck finding someone suitable, he said, okay. Well, I said, good luck with that, right? So that was it, I thought, right? Then he comes back again. If you can help me with a job, here we go again. Foreign guys wanting to sponge off women just to get a visa in the UK. If you can help me with a job, I can promise you I will always stay with you. Narcissistic person. You do not be with someone who doesn't know you, who immediately says they can be with you always. They are likely to be abusive, narcissistic, and of course they're telling untruths and lies just to worm their way into the UK. It's absolutely disgusting. So I said to him, absolutely not. I'm looking for a strong guy, not someone who asks me to do things he should be doing for himself. Your bad luck, he replied. I said, my good luck. And he said, yes, exactly. It is your luck to have an amazing, handsome and young guy like me in your life. But you are losing the chance. Honestly, I nearly cracked up with laughter when he said that. Because it's so pathetic and stupid. I said, you are not amazing if you can't even find your own job. I'm not interested in a guy like this. Here we go. Hey, cool, see, there is something you should know. I already have a job and I'm working for a company as an art director. But that is not the matter here. What I mean is, it will be difficult to find a job for me in your place. From here, that is why I ask for your help. Remember, I've already told him we aren't suitable. And he's like, now why? I think you are not that crazy. And so far, I like talking to you. That's why I'm still here. So he insults me by saying, I think you are not that crazy. Narcissistic trait. Saying a backhanded compliment. This is a backhanded compliment. I think you are not that crazy. That is a key narcissistic trait. And now I'm on a dating app Detox, I'm much more able to easily see even more clearly these type of narcissistic comments from obviously potential more like our narcissistic guys. Right? These are guys who are manipulative, controlling, and the conversation goes on where but the fact he has said, I think you're not that crazy, it's basically a backhanded compliment. So it's basically my manipulation. So he's trying to put into my head that I'm a bit crazy, so I won't be accepted by many guys, so I must choose him. This is how the mind manipulation tactic works of this conversation. And then the cheek of it, and partners should help each other out, right? So I've gone from saying this guy is not suitable for me. I'm looking for a guy in the UK. I want a life without sex. And then he's gone on to saying to me basically about me helping him out because partners help each other out and I'm not that crazy. Right? No, I'm not that crazy to be with an idiot like him. And he is an idiot for thinking I would be. Right? It's absolutely horrible. Him trying to say I'm crazy to manipulate me into what he wants and then saying and partners should help each other out. I didn't say I wanted him to be my partner. I definitely don't want him to be my partner. It's disgusting. So he's just trying to force me to say or into a situation where I think I'm in a relationship with him. Kind of gaslighting, really, blurring your reality. Watch out for these guys. Narcissist. I think you can understand what I'm looking for. Anyways, good night. I'm off to sleep. So while he was asleep, I put 1, you are not my partner. 2, I have already told you you aren't suitable for me. He can't live without sex. 3, you are rude to me by even implying I may be crazy. And 4, the only person who is crazy around here is you. To think that a stranger is going to get into a relationship with you and meet your demands. What you are looking for is a way to get into the UK. and I'm not interested in blocking you. Guys like you disgust me. These guys are friggin' idiots. Narcissistic idiots, but idiots all the same. Do you know what I mean? Why waste your life and time speaking to someone who's clearly not right for you and who you're trying to manipulate into getting into the UK, basically? He disgusts me. You know, if he's an art director, he should know better. Business guys should know better, right? Why are you wasting your frigging time and trying to manipulate? Any guys who use manipulative tactics to get a woman and get what they want is a horrible, idiotic guy. But we have to remember these people must have very sad, lonely, bad lives to treat people badly like this, right? At the end of the day, if that's all they can do to get into a relationship, that says that they don't believe that they're good enough to be in a relationship with by themselves, because they've got to blackmail someone, manipulate someone, give backhanded compliments to someone in order to get what they want. So clearly they can't get what they want of their own accord, you know? And some of these guys, well, they're pretty much like insecure, because if they were secure in themselves, they wouldn't need to manipulate a woman into being in a relationship with them, because if they were that great, they'd be having a great woman, right? Clearly this guy is not a good guy, right? You know, he's just full of his own self-importance, which is what narcissistic guys are. And, you know, and paying backhanded compliments and trying to pretend we're in a relationship when I've only just met the guy. No, clearly not. Idiots, absolute idiots. You have to deal with idiots. And, you know, and it's ridiculous, you know? And there was another guy, right? He's watched his channel a few times, apparently. And, you know, I knew he was not a good guy when I asked him the question about what happened with his ex. And the way he spoke about his ex was disgusting. And then I knew he's not a good guy. Right? So I have had abusive exes, really abusive exes, right? And even though they're abusive and not nice people, I do not speak about them like this. The way you speak about other people says a lot about you. Which, yes, you could argue I've just called people in this title idiots. But I'm fed up of not saying they're idiots, because they are if they think a life without sex means anything other than a life without sex. And if they're treating me in an idiotic way. Right, anyway, so when I asked him about his ex, this guy, his response was, well, she's mentally retarded. You know? And basically, he isn't asexual, but he lost interest in sex because of that relationship. Right? And so when someone says, well, she's mentally retarded, behaves very odd and extremely rude at times, I tend to think that's possibly not all her. And so anyway, the way, you know, you don't basically, my exes have been abusive, but I never go around saying, oh, he's mentally retarded, because it's, you know, it says a lot about him, like speaking like that, you know. And, you know, and he said, I tried my best to counsel her before taking the decision to get separated. Like he had no responsibility in the relationship for anything, right? So I said, basically, so you blame her for the failed relationship and take no responsibility for it yourself. This doesn't sound good to me, or the type of guy I would want as a partner. I'm not blaming her. I'm only saying that he lost interest in sex, but I knew he wasn't a good guy. As soon as he started writing about it, he wrote a bit more in that conversation, but as soon as he started saying, you know, like, she is mentally retarded and I was counselling her, that's basically saying that I knew best in the relationship and blaming everything on her and saying she's a mental nutcase, basically. The last guy who spoke about his partner, in this case, ex-partner like that, was a heterosexual guy who spoke about his asexual partner, wife actually, like that, to me in private message. This is a long time ago. And he was on about she got mental problems. It wasn't the fact she had mental problems, the fact that she was asexual. And he was trying to find some reason for her not to want sex, something to do with her past. Because he couldn't handle the fact that asexuality is a real genuine sexual orientation and she don't want sex with him. And so he was actually not a good guy, but he came to me in private message, not her. I said, well, let her come in asexual groups, get some support. You know, I was more worried about her than him because he couldn't stand not having sex. And he was like, oh, I want her to get therapy, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, he took no responsibility himself. The fact is, her mental health was bad because he can't accept of who she is. And this is probably a similar case. It's probably the reason she was probably mentally retarded was because of the way he treated her. I'm guessing from the way he's phrased this message. Right? And also what you're saying to me tonight, I was right. So I thought, this is not a good guy for me. And I thought, shall I give him the benefit of the doubt? So yes, so anyway, it said everything when he started being like this with me, right? So I said that I'm moving out, right? Well, I said I might have to move out because of my landlord, right? So I thought this guy is possibly a narcissist as well, if I'm honest, right? Because when he called his ex mentally retarded and said I was trying to counsel her, but she wouldn't get any help, that to me, the way he said, I mean, like I said, I don't speak about my bad exes like that. And so, you know what I mean? Even though they're bad to me. You know, and so I just thought, this guy sounds like he could be narcissistic. But I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. But then the conversation I had tonight with him, I said that I might have to move out because my landlord's selling the place. Then he said, oh, send me the link. I may be able to buy that house and become your landlord, but I may charge you more. Right? That is not a very nice thing to say when he doesn't even know where I live. He doesn't even know the state of the place I live in. And already saying, but I may charge you more with a wink is really not nice. It's like, why, if you really liked someone or cared about them, would you want to charge them more rent without even seeing the place and what they're already paying? It's very controlling as well, right? I would never, ever want a guy to be like that. I said, well, you couldn't currently charge me more because the place is falling to bits, so it's not in the right state and lots of work needs doing on it. And I wouldn't want you as my landlord anyway, especially if you threaten to put my rent up when it's already gone up twice in the last year and my flat is in need of repair. Ooh, he said, I don't mean GBP. I don't mean Great British Pounds. Right? So if he doesn't mean he put my rent up, but he'd have to charge me more, what the hell does he mean? Right? So I said, I think you are talking sexual stuff then. I am really not interested. Because don't forget, this guy is not asexual. He said, I am not saying sexual stuff either. I'm only talking about kisses. Stop attacking me. How did I attack him? I didn't attack him at all. I said, I think you're talking sexual stuff. I'm not really not interested. That's not attacking. That's saying what I think he's talking about. And just saying, I'm not interested. Putting a boundary in place, saying I'm not interested. So the fact he said, stop attacking me, again, is indicative that this guy is narcissistic because he's turned it around on me. So he's deflected his shortcomings, which in this case, he's implying that I would owe him more than rent. No, so not money, not in terms of money, but he charged me more in terms of I owe him something. Any guy who's trying to say a woman owes him something like a favor for staying where she stays is basically like friends with benefits. It's disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. You don't want to ever be in a position where you owe a guy anything, certainly not your body or any part of it, you know? Talking about kisses, it's like, why would I owe a guy kisses? Why would he charge me kisses to if he was my landlord? It's disgusting. You know, it's highly unprofessional and totally disgusting. That's what I mean. I'm dealing with idiots. Especially when he says, stop attacking me. It's like, excuse me, who was the one who said that they charge me more and they'd expect me to basically get physical with them? That is not me attacking you. That's you being horrible to me. And he's like, please, it said, it looks like you don't like me. I don't want to intimidate anyone. Just take care. I said, yes, I don't like you. You aren't a good guy for me. Wish you the best of your life journey. He's like, thanks, goodbye. I put bye and blocked him. You know, because honestly, these people are really, really horrible. You know, it's like they're just idiots, you know? There's no two ways about it. They're just horrible people. who are very selfish and try to manipulate and control and get one up on a woman. I just think it's horrible. I don't believe every guy's like this, by the way. I believe there are some really nice, kind, caring guys in the world, right? I am not going to believe that every guy is a complete jerk, right? Because I have got guys who are friends, and I do personally feel over the span of my life so far that guys are far better as friends than in a relationship the majority of the time. And I do think it's very difficult to find a guy who's actually a good guy. I do think it's hard. But I don't think everyone is obviously, I don't think everyone's an idiot, and I don't think that every guy is a bad guy. But it's just like, when you're dealing with idiots like that and people who are narcissistic and really bad, it's just like, what are these guys like? I really wish that they would be sent off to like a special camp, like an army camp type camp or something, to detoxify themselves, because like they are toxic to other people. It's almost like you need radiation control with them to detoxify them, because they clearly don't understand what it means to be a healthy individual. A healthy individual does not play mind games. A healthy individual does not manipulate. A healthy individual does not try to control someone. A healthy individual does not have any friends with benefits scenario going on. And I know I might get like rocks thrown at me for that. Like, oh, but there's plenty of people that have friends with benefits. But fine, whatever you want to do. Don't throw rocks at me, because I won't appreciate it and I won't have it. But yes, anyway, yes, these people are not good people. And I think they should be going to it, but they wouldn't want to know, because the thing is, not people who are narcissistic, they full of their own self-importance. They don't believe that anything's wrong with them. They blame other people all the time, and they don't see that they've got bad behavior, but trying to paying backhanded compliments, trying to get something out of someone for basically physical sexual favors is disgusting. Trying to like push a woman into a relationship or make her think she's in a relationship with you just because she said hello back to you is just disgusting. Trying to play games, trying to use mind manipulation tactics, trying to insinuate and imply that, oh, this person's not going to be able to get anyone else, so they've got to be with me. That is like manipulation at the highest level. I'm not interested in manipulators, mind game players, idiots, controllers. These are people that disgust me, and I think it's sad that they're going to spend the rest of their life like that. But that's up to them, isn't it? If all they want is on their deathbed to be happy that they manipulated women like this and tried to control women like this, which I'm sure some women might not be as strong as me, and some women might fall for their lies, deceit, manipulation, toxicity, but I'm not, And so if that's what they want to do with their lives, and they'll be proud to die that type of person, well, I wouldn't like to be that type of person, put it like that. I want to be remembered for doing good in the world, for helping people, by genuinely caring about people, for trying to make a difference to people's lives, There are a few people that turn their life around. A few, from going for someone who's not got people's best interests at heart to actually being a really good person. But it usually takes a lot of years, and they have to realize they're not good as they are, I don't know what these people do at night when they look in the mirror. Are they really happy with themselves that they use mind manipulation tactics on women? That they try and push their way into, like, the woman just believing that's the best they can do? It's like, no, it's not the best you can do at all. The best you can do is not be in a relationship with these type of guys and stay single. I much prefer my single life than ever being with a guy who's abusive and manipulative. I'm not interested in these types of guys. They really disgust me, especially the amount of guys that try and get into the UK. It's like, it's the same type of thing that over and over again. I'm thinking, God, it's just so tiring, like, oh, hi. And then shortly afterwards, I usually get the message like, can you help me? And I'm like, no, I can't, before they've even asked me, because I know what it means. Find me a job, get me work, get me money, do this, do that. It's like, no, you're a grown man, do things for yourself. I'm not interested, you know? I don't know where these guys just get their mentality from. It's just ridiculous. I would hope to say that it's not passed down from generation to generation, but I think it might be. But you have to break the cycle, you know? But I just get disgusted with these types of guys. And I honestly think I feel sorry for them. I'm like, how can you possibly go through your whole life just living that like life where all you're doing is manipulating and controlling and being that type of guy? I don't know how they can live with themselves. I don't know how they can look at themselves in the mirror and be happy that they're that type of person. It really baffles me. I would not feel good about myself if I was going around doing like that and being like that to someone. I feel really miserable inside. Probably they do feel miserable inside and very lonely, these type of people. Because if they're doing bad things to bad people, then they're leading bad lives, really, aren't they? You know what I mean? It's just like I feel like shaking them and saying, "Do you not realize that you could be a completely different type of guy?" But yes, we can't do this type of thing. They've got to work it out for themselves. But if they're a true narcissistic guy, they'll never work it out because they'll be like, "There's nothing wrong with me. I'll just carry on manipulating, controlling women. Eventually, I'll get one." Yeah, you might get one, but you're not going to have a healthy, happy relationship. I'd much rather have a healthy, happy relationship and be a good person than have an up and down relationship and treat someone badly. Some guys don't even appreciate what they've got when they've got it anyway. And those type of relationships aren't going to be healthy or happy. Some people who have arranged marriages, they're so miserable in it. And they take that through their lives and their kids suffer for it. Their kids see that their parents' marriage is broken in effect, even though it's legally still bound. They see that their parents don't even love each other. I have had some Indian guys in my inbox saying, that my mum resents marrying my dad, or my mum resents this person in the family getting my dad and her together because she can't stand him and stuff like this. And it's just like awful. And I just think it's awful that these guys are like this. It's like, do you honestly expect me to be with this type of person? What's the point in wasting my time? I don't get it. I wish that all the guys who watch this channel would just wake up, who are the ones that aren't good guys, and would just think, Sandra's got a point. Do I really want to die, being this type of guy and actually change? Be amazing. But a lot of them will just watch this channel and be like, oh yeah, that's her saying that, and won't apply it to them, It takes a lot to change your life. I'm not perfect, obviously, but I try to change myself for the better. I have changed myself for the better for a lot of the time, for a number of years now. I'm still trying to change myself, like by doing the dating app Detox. It's been very healthy for me, really good for me. I feel like I'm finally more at one with myself. I feel calmer overall, even among chaos. I feel like I trust myself more. Um, I feel now a relationship's not a priority for me, that I'm able to put myself a lot more first. And I do feel that I'm able to pursue my dreams more and make them happen. And I don't want to give any more time, energy, and effort to looking for a relationship anymore, because I got the best relationship at the moment with myself and my friends, And I think, and obviously I see my parents occasionally with my guinea pig, Angel. She's beautiful. And so, and I'm busy like catching up on things. Like I'm just going through stuff that's needed to be done for a long time. And I'm still playing catch up, It's like, oh my gosh, like I had obviously COVID earlier in like a few months ago. I had a chest infection. And a lot of the time I wasn't doing any work during that time. I feel like I'm still catching up from that. And I feel like I had my life on hold a lot of the time while I was looking for a relationship. It's really weird. I feel like I was in a trance and I come out of it now. And I feel really good. I thought that I might have problems like wanting to reach out for the app, but the majority of the time it's not been the case. Occasionally it flies across my mind and then I'm like, well, no, because I felt really bad doing that in the end, and it's not productive for me. It's not healthy for me. It's not good for me. These people are not good. And these are guys coming in my inbox, these idiots that I've been speaking about, are guys coming in my inbox from this dating group, this Indian dating group I'm in on Facebook. It's not a dating app, it's a dating group, you know? And I'm thinking I'm still having to deal with idiots, even though I'm not doing dating app stuff anymore. But like I said, I haven't totally ruled out relationships. So I think I've got a much healthier perspective now that I haven't ruled out relationship. I still believe there's someone out there for me who's an Indian soulmate, but it's not my priority anymore. So it doesn't matter if it doesn't happen for a couple of years or whenever, because it's really not my priority anymore. I would have to know an Indian guy for a very long time before getting into a relationship with him, and I don't know any suitable Indian guys for a relationship. I'm not even like actively talking to any Indian guys anymore in my inbox. Like I have guys come in my inbox, but they're usually very short lived, or guys that just say hi, and a lot of the time I just ignore them because they're not suitable for me. They're heterosexual. They're looking for someone, they're in India, and I've already explained they're not suitable for me. And so I'm just happier being me. I'm really, really busy at the moment. I don't have time to do a lot of stuff. Like I've only ate my lunch like really late at night. That's why I didn't even do this show till after midnight, because I've been busy doing stuff all day. I'm not even on Facebook as much as I used to be at the moment, because I've got a lot of I need to get done for the rest of this month. Well, now it's just 2 days left. I've got a lot to do in 2 days. I don't even know if I'm going to get it all done in 2 days, but I have got to aim for it within 2 days. So yeah, it's been a very interesting experience. I would highly recommend that if you feel addicted to dating apps, that you do give it a break, that you do come off them and you feel the difference. I feel a distinct difference just between the fact that I'm not actively pursuing a relationship anymore compared to what I was. I was really upset before, but now I just think like I'm not, because I'm happier, because I'm being myself even more, because I'm pursuing my dreams, and I honestly believe it's the right way to go. And I feel like it's more my time now than ever before. And obviously I got my MacBook Pro now, which is amazing. I might have to move, so I'll be having a new environment as well. I don't know what's happening with that. And I was getting into a bit of a panic, but I'm thinking now, Sandra, you can handle anything that comes in life. It's fine. Oh, I want to tell you a story about a fly. I didn't know whether to do a shorts video about it. I might still do it in a shorts, but I wanted to tell you while you're here. So I'm a spiritual person, right? And I believe in my intuition, and I believe in insect totems, which might be crazy to some people. I don't know. But anyway, insect totem is like insects that come into your life that have a special spiritual meaning. They're trying to tell you a message, right? And so, I've got moths as my insect totem and butterflies, but I also think flies probably are as well, because I sometimes, not the flies that just fly around your food, that's normal, but I sometimes get flies that just decide to stick on the wall and stay there for a prolonged amount of time, not doing anything. So this was really weird, right? Very strange. I was in the toilet and this fly decided to be on the floor, and it was on its back and was struggling with its legs. It was like this. And it looked like it couldn't get up. And I was thinking, why don't you just fly away? You're a fly. It was really weird. So after, like, I was trying to go to the toilet, I was like thinking, I've got to get this fly up because I don't want it to die. That might seem weird, but I didn't want it to die. So I got up and I'm trying to get the toilet paper to move it over to put the fly the right way. And I'm thinking, this is really weird because you can fly off. So I don't understand what's going on. Unless you're trying to tell me something, but it's weird. I'm like, what are you trying to tell me? It doesn't make any sense, but I don't want you to die on me. So I'm like, just trying to put it out the right way. As soon as I try to put it out the right way, it's then flipping back on its back. And I'm thinking, what is it doing flipping on its back? And it's moving its legs around. It's really struggling. I'm thinking, but you don't need to struggle. You can just fly away. So what's going on? So then I'm thinking, oh, it must be a spiritual message for you. And it means that if you're struggling, do not worry, because you can get back up again. And after that, and I said that out loud, basically, it disappeared. I think I said it out loud. But this fly just disappeared. I'm like, oh, I know. I think I said to it, I know what you're trying to tell me. So you're trying to tell me you're struggling, you can get back up. Thanks for the message. And then not long after that is when I found out about my landlord selling the property, because obviously that is a difficult thing that I'm going to have to go through, which could be a struggle. But I always end up back on my feet again, and I always end up being able to, be fine again in my life. So I think that's what the fly was coming to tell me. I think it was warning me if there's struggles ahead, but you're going to be fine. You can just get back up. But in his case, he could fly away easily. So I'm guessing that in my case, something's easier than I think it is by the look of it. Very bizarre message, but it just disappeared after that, just vanished. And so I'm like, yes, that was definitely what the message was. So yeah, I'm very intuitive, as you can see. Like most people, they'll be thinking, what the hell is going on? You're talking about a fly. A fly is a fly, but it is not. A fly is a fly when it acts like a fly, as in it flies around your food. It lands on your food. It likes food. A fly is not behaving like a fly when it behaves not like a fly, and it's doing something very weird and crazy that has got nothing to do with food. It's in a frigging toilet. There's no food in the toilet, for God's sake. And it's like, you can fly off. Why are you just like moving and flipping on your back, pretending to struggle while struggling to get up by the look of it? What's going on? So yeah, I mean, once I had a fly in my bedroom, and it was just actually, it was up there on the wall, and I think it stayed there for, was it a couple of days or something? 2 or 3 days. And it was a lot of time anyway, at least 24 hours, and it was stuck, it was just attached to stuff. I think it was there for at least a couple of nights, and it was attached there to the wall, just not glued, but actually just put his legs there, and it was like stationary. I'm like, this is not normal. What are you trying to tell me? Because a fly would be flying around food. Yeah, sometimes I'm eating foods and the fly isn't at all interested in the food. It's just trying to do something else to tell me a message. So anyway, yes. So, I feel like the more I'm single and on my own, I feel like I'm a lot more powerful and strong as a single solo artist of life. I felt that for a long time though, that I'm more powerful as a single person. And I feel like I'm more responsible for myself, more self-reliant, which is a very healthy thing to be, by the way. Um, it's good to have friends and family and people you can rely on, but it's most important to be self-reliant, so that if anything does happen to anyone, or any of your friendships, or anyone has like their own life going on, that you can rely on yourself and trust yourself to make your own decisions and do your own thing in life, and having the freedom of being with yourself and knowing what's right for you, and knowing that it's okay to try things out. And if things don't go right, then that's fine. It doesn't matter. The thing is that you've tried. That's the most important thing in life. Like, I was freaking out when I thought about I've got to move out, maybe, but I don't even know if I have or not. It depends if the new owner takes the tenants on or not. But at the end of the day, I'm sure whatever happens will happen for my greater good. So I can't really fail or lose, really. And I do have stuff in the moment to think about. I can't be just thinking about moving. But the landlord's like getting evaluated around on the 8th of October. So between now and the 8th of October, nothing's going to happen. So I've got that I've got that time that I need to focus on my work stuff. Like, I need next month, October, to focus on my Asexual Guide to Sex and finishing that, because I really have to get it done before Christmas. And if I do have to move, it could end up being around Christmas, New Year, possibly, which means it might crunch the Asexual Guide to Sex plans. But I have to not worry about that and just think and focusing on my list of tasks that I've got to do between now and the end of the month, which might actually spill into the first day of the month, next month, and then get on with my Asexual Guide to Sex. I'm trying to get the other stuff out of the way that I know I need to get out of the way in order to do the things I have coming up next month, and then work on my Asexual Guide to Sex book to finish that. It's a lot I still have to do in terms of, like, I got to finish the chapter 1, which I've nearly finished. One more short chapter, very short chapter. It might just be a page or something. Mind you, I've said that before and it goes on, but I think it's not going to be that long. And then I've got to do the rest of the final chapter, and then it's all the formatting. It's going to be hard to format this book because it's full of all different chapters and parts, and they're kind of like, yeah, it's a bit of a more complicated book than in terms of formatting than I've ever done before, I think. So I'm not quite sure how I'm going to work that out yet, but I will work it out. And then I've got to actually edit all my because I've been working on my part for months. I've been editing as gone along. Sometimes I leave it for some time, so I haven't done much, if anything, in September. I don't think I've worked at all on it in September, no. So the fact I've left it for a while will be good, because when I go back to it, I'll reread what I last wrote, and then I'll probably edit it, because that's what I do. So it helps, because obviously I've got to do editing anyway, so it helps kind of if I do have a break, in terms of like I'm editing it as I go along as well. But yeah, I really need it out before Christmas, because I just do. It's very important people can buy it for Christmas presents then. But obviously with the fact I need to move possibly now, highly possibly now, then it's kind of like a spanner in the works, really. But because I'm on a dating app detox now, and I'm not focusing on getting a relationship anymore, it means I can use my time wisely and organize it wisely to be able to sort things out for that potential move as well. As in, you know, like send more stuff to charity shops, get rid of more stuff, sort my place out more, you know, this type of stuff. So it's good. Everything happens for a reason, I believe, good or bad, and everything is actually happening in my favor, as I say. So yes, to summarize, dating app detox, the good things about it is, one, I feel stronger in myself. Two, I feel I've come out of a trance. Three, I'm able to cope better than I thought I would do on my own without looking for a relationship, which is really healthy. Four, I'm even more self-reliant than ever before. Five, I'm learning to actually spend some time on my own in silence while I'm doing my work. Now, I haven't actually said that throughout this video, but I've just told you now. So usually I have music playing quite a lot of the time when I do my work. And I did earlier today, because it really helped doing some more monotonous work where I was copy and pasting some stuff, but changing some other stuff. And so that was good, because sometimes music can really motivate me, egg me on, do it faster and stuff like this. But also I have been in times where I've been ages in silence just doing my work. And I've actually been at peace doing that. Because I, in general, like noise. I'm not used to quiet, but I've actually found that I can really concentrate some of the time in absolute silence while I'm doing my work. And it's been really effective. And I'm happy about this, because I feel that I'm detoxing more from social media to be able to do that. So a lot of the time in today's modern society, we are dopamine addicted, if you didn't know that already, because, you know, it's swipe culture, like swipe through Facebook, swipe through Instagram, swipe through this. I don't use Instagram, but I'm just using that as an example. You know, I don't use WhatsApp either, but people are swiping on WhatsApp, then they're swiping YouTube, then they're swiping through Instagram and Facebook, and it's like swipe, swipe. And every time you do a swipe, it gives you a dopamine hit usually. And you know, the social media can make us addicted to getting our dopamine fix, right? And this can be unhealthy. Any addiction can be unhealthy. So when we actually finally be on our own, it can feel weird and strange at first, but it's actually really healthy for us to spend several hours a day off social media, so that we actually can spend time with ourselves, with our soul, doing things for ourselves, be self-reliant, not rely on other people for our dopamine fix and our feel-good fix, you know? And so it's a very healthy thing. So when you're doing dating apps such as Facebook dating, you're on Facebook all the time to do it. So you're constantly on social media. So I would be doing my usual social media stuff. Then I would be doing like 1 to 4 hours of that as well. It's constant dopamine when you've got people in your inbox all the time. I have a lot of guys in my inbox usually. And so, you know, it's actually really healthy to be off dating apps from a dopamine detox point of view, from a addiction point of view. It's just really much better, and I'm quite really proud of myself that now I can spend quite a few hours just doing focused work, some of the time in silence, which I didn't think would ever happen. I always thought that I wouldn't be able to do that type of thing, that I would lose concentration. I find it hard to concentrate when I'm doing my writing sometimes, and I hope I'll get better at that, because I find that, you know, any little work I do on my book is very intense for me, because I want it to be right. I think I'm more of a perfectionist where my books are concerned, and I'm always trying to get it right. And because I'm doing the Asexual Guide to Sex, it is a lot on my brain, because I'm a personally sex repulsed asexual for me. So I'm having to deal with my own emotions and feelings towards sex, whilst also being very objective and trying not to be so biased. I think I've done a really good job actually of the Asexual Guide to Sex. I think it's very well rounded. I think it's very sex positive, whilst also the fact I'm sex repulsed. I'm really proud of that. I think it will come across as a really good book because I am very good at speaking positively about sex for other people and the thing itself without actually wanting it, liking it, or needing it and being repulsed by it myself. I think that's a very big skill, that. And I do look at this book and think, oh, this is really good, Sandra. You know, you are very sex positive, even though you're showing the bad side of sex as well. You're very, you know, a lot of positives about it. You can help people. You're very, being as unbiased as you can be, I think, whilst still having your own opinion in the book. I think it's a very healthy book. I think it's a very good book. I was so excited when I finally get out. I've still got work to do on it, but I'll be so excited. I will be so excited. I can't wait. I really love the book myself. It's a book. The Asexual Guide to Sex is honestly the book I wish I'd had when I was 16 years old and pressurized into having sex for the first time ever in my life. You know, I really wished I had this book back then because it would save me so much heartache and pain, and it would just help me to have much healthier relationships in my life going forward. I hope every person gets this book. Everyone that's like asexual, possibly interested in sex, or just has a friend that they could share it with, or even someone who's a virgin or inexperienced at sex, or who just wants to know more about healthy relationships. I hope Asexual Guide to Sex literally changes thousands of lives for the better forever. I really wished I'd had this book when I was 16. It would have literally been a lifesaver for me, I think. Saved me from a lot of dark days and a lot of misunderstandings and a lot of non-understanding of myself, you know? I really am looking forward to sharing it with the world. I can't wait. Anyway, on that note, I will say good night to you. Thank you so much. Well, wherever you are, it could be good morning, good afternoon. I'm in the UK, so it's the middle of the night here now. Like this video if you think it's good in any way, shape, or form, if you got some insights and value from it. If you found it useful to know what it's like to have a dating app detox and how it's going, which is really, really well, I have to say, I'm so pleased I'm doing this. And don't forget to subscribe if you're not already subscribed to this channel. There are lots of people that watch this channel that are not already subscribed, so I'd love it if you subscribe because it helps raise awareness of asexuality and spreads the asexual love, and it's just really supportive and really helps me to grow this channel and keep doing more content for you. And please hit the bell icon if you want to join me live again on another live stream. I know there's been people watching here that haven't commented, but I want to send my love to you and say thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate your time. I appreciate your support. I appreciate you being here. And I wish you such an ace day. And I'll see you on the next video live stream. Lots of love. Take care. Bye. Take care of you.